Hello dear learners, welcome to week 2 of foundational course on child's growth and development, and today we will discuss lecture number 8, that is motor development and coordination. Let's start. The concepts we will going to cover are, we will introduce what is motor development, its meaning, classification of motor skills, principles of motor development, stages of motor development, coordination, the art of controlled movement, and finally we will conclude the whole lecture and there are certain references for your further use. In our previous lectures, we explored how children grow physically from infancy to adolescence and how their height, weight and body systems mature. Now, we focus to a very exciting dimension of physical development, that is motor development and coordination. Have you ever observed how a baby's unsteady crawl slowly turns into confident running, or how a child learns to tie shoelaces, hold a pencil or dance rhythmically? All of these are good examples of motor development, the process that allows children to move, act and interact with their environment. Today, we will understand what motor development means, its types, principles, stages and the various factors that influence it. We will also explore how teachers can foster coordination and movement skills through play and classroom activities. Let's see what is the meaning of motor development. The term motor development refers to the progressive acquisition of movement and motor skills from infancy to adolescence. According to Gallagher and Osman, 2006, motor development is the continuous change in motor behavior throughout the life cycle, brought about by the interaction among the task, the biology of the individual and the environment. Here the three things that are important are among the task, biology of the individual and the environment. So we can simply put it as the process through which the child learns to control and coordinate muscles and movements for purposeful activity. So there are certain components of motor behavior. Let's discuss these components. Motor behavior has three interrelated components. They are related to each other. First is motor growth, second is motor learning and third is motor control. So what is motor growth? Biological changes in size, structure and muscle mass. Motor learning, practice-based refinement of movements. And motor control, brain's ability to organize and regulate movement. So, motor development is not just about physical strength. It is about precision, balance, timing and integration. These four things are very, very important: precision, balance, timing and integration. Classification of motor skills. Learners, now that we know that motor development means, let's discuss its classification, the types of movements and skill that children develop as they grow. Every movement from a baby's first step to an adolescent's mastery of a yoga pose or a cricket shot falls under one of the two broad categories. First is gross motor skills and second is fine motor skills. Let us understand both in details with relevant examples from Indian culture and context so that you can visualize these processes in your classrooms as a teacher and communities as a teacher and parent. Let's discuss gross motor skills. Gross motor skills involve the use of large muscles of the arms, legs, back and torso to perform whole body movements. These are the foundation of physical competence, enabling balance, strength and coordination. According to Gallagher and Osman, gross motor skills help in locomotion, that is movement, manipulation and stability, or simply moving from one place to another, handling objects and maintaining posture. Let us understand gross motor activities from infancy to adolescence from this table. The table is divided into three columns: age, activity and the skills which are going to be developed. Infancy, from birth to 2 years, and the activity is crawling on the floor, standing with support. Skills, gross motor skills which are developed is strengthens neck, chest and leg muscles. Early childhood, from 2 to 6 years, running around in the square, climbing stairs, jumping over chalk lines, playing pakadam pakadai, as we say in India, pakadam pakadai, catching game. Skill development developed is improve balance and endurance. Middle childhood, 6 to 12 years, and the activities are skipping rope, cycling, swimming, climbing jungle gym in school playground. And skill which are going to develop builds coordination and stamina. Adolescence, that is from 12 years to 18 years, activities are playing cricket, football, kabaddi, kho-kho, basketball, dancing, any Indian dance form, Bharatanatyam, Bhangra, Garba, performing Surya Namaskar in yoga. And the skills are, it enhances very important strength, agility, flexibility and body control. These gross motor movements are functional and expressive. A 5-year-old running in the school field learns spatial awareness, very important, spatial awareness. A 10-year-old cycling through village roads strengthens leg muscles and endurance. An adolescent performing Surya Namaskar integrates breathing, balance and posture, a perfect combination of motor coordination and mindfulness. Such activities not only develop physical abilities but also foster teamwork, confidence and cultural identity, especially when children participate in traditional games and dance forms. NCERT 2019 emphasizes that traditional Indian games like kabaddi, kho-kho and gilli danda provide natural opportunities for children to develop gross motor coordination, strategic thinking and cooperative play. So this is about gross motor skills. Now we will discuss fine motor skills. What are they? Fine motor skills involve the small muscles of the fingers, wrists and eyes. These are responsible for precise, controlled movements that require focus and coordination between the eyes and hands. You have seen in primary schools there are many activities which are focused on eye-hand coordination, because this all is about the age specific activities. They develop gradually after gross motor control once children gain better stability of large muscles. Fine motor skills are essential for performing everyday tasks like writing, drawing, buttoning, feeding and all delicate manual activities. Now let's again see fine motor activities from infancy to adolescence through this table. Again the table is divided into three columns: age, activity and the skills, fine motor skills which are going to develop through those activities. Age, infancy, birth to 2 years, holding a rattle, any toy, grasping mother's finger, picking up small food items. It will strengthen grasp and finger control. In early childhood from 2 to 6 years, coloring with crayons, stacking blocks, using spoon to eat, folding paper and stringing beads. Skills developed are improves hand-eye या eye-hand coordination and precision. In middle childhood from 6 to 12 years, writing in copy and books, tying shoelaces, a very important milestone at this stage, making craft projects, using ruler and compass in school, cutting vegetables in home science classes. And the skills developed are develops coordination and dexterity. And finally, the adolescent stage from 12 to 18 years, sewing in SUPW class, socially useful productive work class, typing on computer, playing musical instruments like tabla, veena, harmonium, etc. Integrate drawing in fine arts, and it will enhance accuracy, speed and creative control. So this is all about the gross motor skills from infancy to adolescence, and fine motor skills, activities and the skills developed again from infancy to adolescence. Fine motor development reflects both neurological maturity and practice. For example, when a toddler holds a pencil correctly, it shows not only muscle strength but also sensory feedback control. It's related to the neurological maturity and also the exercise and practice. When children participate in craft or rangoli making competitions, their hand-eye coordination improves naturally. Students performing delicate hand gestures like hast mudras in Bharatanatyam, tuning the strings of a sitar, shows advanced fine motor control achieved through repeated practice and brain muscle integration. Now let's discuss, after doing gross motor skills and fine motor skills, now let's discuss principles of motor development. Motor development does not happen randomly. It follows clear, predictable principles that guide how movement control emerges. Understanding these patterns help us appreciate how children progress from reflexive actions to graceful, coordinated movements. Let's explore these key principles with simple Indian examples. Already we have discussed it, and it is also a very important concept in child psychology, child's growth and development. Cephalocaudal principle. It's a general principle for overall growth and development. Also, it's a specific principle for motor developments. Cephalocaudal principle, that is from head to toe. Motor control develops from head to downward. Infants first lift and turn their heads. Then they gain control over shoulders, arms and legs. For example, a baby can hold up its head before it learns to crawl or walk. Oil massages commonly given to infants in Indian homes help strengthen this top-down muscle control. And the next principle is proximo-distal principle, from center to peripheries. Development progresses from the central body to outward. Children first control their shoulders and arms, then they come to controlling wrist, hands and fingers. For example, toddlers paint with big shoulder movements before mastering fine activities. You must have seen kids, pura whole body they move, and then like writing or threading beads. General to specific. Differentiation. Movements evolve from broad, general actions to precise, refined ones. For example, a toddler may wave both arms to express excitement, how happy he is or she is, but by school age can kick a football with one leg or draw controlled shapes with a pencil. And the next principle is integration principle. Different muscle groups and senses gradually work together in coordination to perform complex actions. For example, playing kho-kho or kabaddi requires running, dodging, and reacting in unison. Similarly, a tabla player coordinates both hands to maintain rhythm, a fine example of motor coordination. And the next principle is sequential. Motor development is sequential and predictable order. Motor milestones appear in a fixed sequence, though the timing varies. Babies roll, sit, crawl, stand, and walk, usually in that order. For example, parents across India celebrate first steps or first crawl, recognizing this natural developmental sequence. Maturation and learning, they work together. Both biological readiness, which we say maturation, and practice shape motor development. For example, children in rural areas often develop stronger balance and agility from early exposure to outdoor play, climbing trees, or traditional games like gilli danda and lagori. The next principle is principle of individual differences. Each child's motor pace is unique depending on his or her genes, nutrition, and environment. For example, one student may master cycling at 7, another at 9. Both are normal variations, and it depends on the exposure the child gains during his childhood. Physical and motor growth correlation. Both are correlated. Physical strength and size support better motor control. As bones, muscles, and nervous system mature, coordination improves. For an example, older primary students performing yoga postures like Vrikshasana, tree pose, demonstrate improved balance and muscular control. And the last principle is practice and repetition build skill. Repetition, repeating the things, repeating the exercise, repeating that particular game again and again, practicing it strengthens motor memory and coordination. For example, rehearsing dance steps for Bharatanatyam, Garba, or any other Indian classical form, or Hastamudras, or cricket bowling practice helps refine timing, accuracy, and fluidity of movement. So, this is all about the principles of motor development. Now, let's see stages of motor development. Motor development doesn't happen overnight. It unfolds through well-defined stages, each marking a high level of control, coordination, and precision. For a baby's first reflex, from a baby's first reflex to an adolescent's graceful or athletic skill, every movement passes through these progressive stages. According to Gallagher and Osman, motor development follows 5 broad stages, and these stages are reflexive, rudimentary stage, fundamental stage, specialized, and refined movements. Let us understand these one by one with everyday Indian examples. Reflexive movement stage from birth to 1 year. This is the earliest stage of motor activity. Movements are automatic and involuntary. No practice is required. Controlled by the nervous system, not by our conscious thought. And the key features of reflexive movement are present from birth. It is present from birth, fade as voluntary control develops. Help infants survive and prepare for late voluntary movements. For example, there are 3 reflexes: rooting reflex, grasp reflex, and Moro reflex. Rooting reflex, baby turns head when cheek is touched, helps in breastfeeding. Grasp reflex, infant automatically grips a caregiver's finger. You must have seen this. As and when you just hold his or her hands, they tightly grasp or grip. Moro reflex, babies spreads arms when startled. The second stage is rudimentary movement stage from 1 to 2 years. This stage marks the beginning of voluntary movement. Infants now start to control body actions consciously. Key features of rudimentary movement stage are crawling, creeping, standing, walking, reaching and grasping appear. Coordination is basic, but it is improving rapidly. And examples from daily life, the experiences of as a parent or as a teacher, learning to sit without support, walking unsteadily, toddler gait, reaching for toys, feeding self with hands. And the next stage is fundamental movement stage from 2 to 7 years. This is the foundation stage of for all the future physical skills. Children develop basic locomotor, manipulative and stability skills. Now let's see the categories: locomotor skills, manipulative skills and stability skills. Locomotor skills means moving from one place to another. Examples are running, hopping, skipping, climbing stairs, playing pakadam pakadai. Manipulative skills means handling and controlling the objects, throwing a ball, catching, kicking, dribbling, playing lagori, that is a 7-stone game. Stability skills, maintaining balance and posture. Standing on one foot, yoga postures like Vrikshasana, tree pose, balancing on beams. And fourth stage is specialized movement stage, that is from 7 to 14 years. At this stage, children begin to apply fundamental skills to specific goal-oriented activities, that is games, sports and creative performances. Key features of specialized movement stage are: it improves accuracy, strength and coordination. Movements now become purposeful and strategic. Examples are playing structured sports like cricket, badminton and basketball, performing Indian folk dances, bhangra, garba, lavani, using tools, compass, brush or musical instruments. And the last stage of this motor development is refined or skillful stage from 14 to 18 years. By adolescence, motor skills reach maximum efficiency and control. Movements become precise, graceful and energy efficient. Key features of refined or skillful stage are integration of strength, flexibility, coordination and timing. Focus shifts from basic movement to mastery and creativity. For an example, a teenager performing Surya Namaskar with perfect alignment, a student training for athletics, swimming or national level cricket, a dancer executing classical mudras and rhythm with fineness. Now we will discuss coordination, the art of controlled movement. You have seen that growth and motor development help children move, but coordination is what makes those movements smooth, accurate and meaningful. So see how important this coordination is: motor control, motor coordination. Think about this: a cricketer timing a perfect shot, a child balancing in Vrikshasana, or a dancer matching every step to the rhythm, all display the magic of coordination. In simple words, coordination is the art of controlled movement. It's when different muscles, senses and the brain work together in harmony. Meaning of coordination. Coordination means the ability to use different parts of the body together smoothly and efficiently. It is not just about strength or speed, it is about control. It combines muscular control, how precisely muscles move. sensory input, what we see, hear and feel, and neural feedback, signals from the brain that adjust timing and balance. Herlock in 1982 described coordination as, I quote, the harmonious working of muscles and senses to produce smooth and purposeful movements. Now let's see what are the types of coordination. Motor coordination can be observed in various forms. Let us look at the main types with relatable Indian examples. Gross motor coordination. It involves the control of large muscles used for movement, balance and posture. For example, children running in a kho-kho match, needing timing, direction and body control. Performing Surya Namaskar, coordinating breathing with movement. Balancing during lazim drills or march past on Independence Day. Such activities develop strength, rhythm and spatial awareness. Fine motor coordination involves small, precise movements of fingers, wrist and hands for accuracy. Examples as shown in picture also, making rangoli patterns or decorating diyas during Diwali, writing neatly or threading beads in craft class, playing musical instruments like tabla, flute or sitar requiring controlled hand movements. Fine coordination is essential for handwriting, art and all delicate manual tasks. Next is hand-eye coordination. Synchronizes visual information with hand movements guided by timing and accuracy. Examples are catching a cricket ball or hitting a shuttlecock in badminton, a student tossing and catching objects during physical education classes or PT class, art students drawing patterns or geometry with precision. Children improve this naturally through play, which is why traditional games like pittu or gilli danda are so beneficial. Bilateral coordination, using both sides of the body together for balanced synchronized activity. For example, cycling to school, both legs paddling together, performing dandiya ras, where both hands and legs move rhythmically, typing or playing harmonium in music class. Bilateral coordination helps children perform academic and daily tasks more efficiently. Eye-foot coordination, coordinating vision with leg and foot movement. Examples are kicking a football accurately towards the goal, dancing to rhythm in garba or bhangra, practicing skipping or jumping rope in the schoolyard. These activities train precision and balance, and these are crucial for sports performance. How this coordination develops? Coordination improves gradually as the brain matures, especially the cerebellum, which controls balance and timing. Muscles strengthen, giving stability for complex movements. Practice increases. Repetition builds motor memory. For example, when a child learns to ride a bicycle, they vibrate at first. But after repeated practice, the brain and muscles remember the right balance, posture and speed. Coordination becomes automatic. Papalia and Martorell explains this as motor learning through sensory feedback and neural adaptation. Coordination in daily life. Coordination is visible all around us. You must have seen coordination, these examples. A potter shaping clay on the wheel, balancing hand pressure and motion, farmers sowing or harvesting rhythmically, students performing synchronized yoga or PT drills at school, folk dancers in bhangra, lavani or kuchipudi using the whole body with rhythmic precision. These daily and cultural activities show that coordination is not just physical. It's artistic, social and emotional too. Importance of coordination. Let's understand importance through this table. What are the aspects of coordination? Physical development. Why it matters? It builds balance, agility and endurance, like running, sports, yoga. Cognitive skills enhances focus and planning, catching, drawing, building. Academic readiness supports handwriting and concentration. Examples are classroom fine motor tasks, drawing, painting. Cultural learning connects body with rhythm and tradition. Folk dance, rangoli, music. Emotional growth boosts confidence through skill mastery, sports and other performances. Finally, we can conclude, dear learners, remember the goal of motor development is not just athletic ability, but holistic growth of the individual from infancy to adolescence. When children move, they learn. When they play, they think. And when they coordinate, they create balance between body and mind. These are few references. You can study more about motor development, its principles through these references in detail. Happy learning.